H12, welcome back. Tuesday morning here on Breakfast Television, already planning for the weekend, and a brand new movie out in theater sees a new stone cold killer in the action comedy that is American Ultra. Topher Grace and Connie Britton star in the movie. They're joining us from LA right now. Good morning to you both. And Topher, let's start us off. This is espionage with plenty of punchlines. Give us the story behind American Ultra.
It would be, in fact, when I read the script, I thought it was like, oh, this is kind of an indie about a stoner who works in a convenience store. And then all of a sudden, the same way Jason Bourne had his mind wiped, this guy realizes that something happened in his life, and he actually has these crazy secret agent abilities. So it's kind of putting two movies together, and that friction is really funny.
Well, you know, there are plenty of laughs along the way, and you both are great with the comedy context. Connie, when we have spy movies, and there have been a lot of great ones, I think of Austin Powers, Burn After Reading, more recently, Man from U.N.C.L.E. What's the challenge with making a spy film and having that good balance of comedy involved?
Well, I think it's about having a great script, and this script was written by Max Landis, and he's a really wonderful writer, and I think, you know, in this case, in the case of this movie, it was really about tone, and the tone feels very unique. Because it really starts out it almost feels like an indie movie, and very character driven, and you've got these characters, and it feels very small in the beginning, but then you suddenly switch over into this CIA world, and then those two worlds kind of collide, and it actually, you know, really becomes a literal explosion, and I think it is about tone and being able to merge those worlds in a really creative way.
Well, Connie, you mentioned the fact there's dueling CIA roles right here. Topher, you are essentially the bad guy. You are the villain in this movie, and there are some intense verbal battles, the verbal tirades you are throwing at Connie. Was this pure acting for you, or was this some stuff you just needed to get off your shoulders when it comes to Connie?
I had a little bit of a beef that goes back years with Connie.
Yeah, he was
and
mad.
I took this as an opportunity to just both on and off set, just really yell at her. And
yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah.
It was hard for me.
But thank God we had that beef, because that made it so real.
Yes.
No, it was
but
more
here
like.
We are.
But here we are. You know, we made up.
Yeah, we made up, and it's now we're just great. We get along great.
Shut up.
Well, I'm glad you can work it out.
That's the thing I don't like.
What did I just say?
We're working on that.
As you two work it
out. I'm sorry.
Topher, I know it's one thing throwing that shade at Connie on the silver screen, but the idea of going after Kristen Stewart, are you ready to feel the wrath of her fan base in there, knowing that you know, you're throwing some shade her way in the movie?
Look, both Kristen and Connie are beloved actresses of our time. I mean, seriously. I mean, everyone who I said I was doing this movie would say, like, oh my God, I love Connie. Like, and then they'd start rattling off your resume and all these great things you've done. So, yeah, I think what little fan base I had, this movie will fully, you know, erode.
That's reason to watch it alone.
Not true.
That's reason to watch it alone.
Because he's hilarious.
Well, hey, Connie, quick question. I know wardrobe always is a big part of the movies. Wardrobe always a big choice. Will you ever look at a turtleneck the same after filming American Ultra?
Nope. Pretty safe to say I will probably never wear a turtleneck again. Because really, particularly in the deep summer of New Orleans. Not going to happen.
Because you had to wear one costume the entire way through. Is that right?
Yes, yes. But there were actually different versions of the costume because, you know, as the movie went on, it changed, it sort of morphed into something else. So it was a little more complicated than you might think.
Well, you did it. You took it like a champ. American Ultra out in theaters this weekend. Topher and Connie, thanks for chatting with us, even with the 2-second delay.
Yes, he's having
Thank you for having us,
10-second delay.
All right. Take care, guys.